pizzaplex is gone. What's left isn't a place anymore. It's a test. Every corridor beneath the ruins carries the memory of something that used to be whole. Animatronics that laughed and danced and pretended to feel things. Children who trusted them. And then everything fell apart. The ruin doesn't ask if you're brave. It doesn't care if you're smart. What it does is watch. It watches how you move when things collapse, how you treat broken things, who you protect, and more importantly, who you don't. Today, 7 characters from the ruin want to know which one of them you are. Cassie, Prototype, Freddy, Ruined Roxy, Ruined Chica, Ruined Monty, Eclipse. And the one I really hope you didn't get, the Mimic. By the end of this video, we will know whether you're the loyal heart trying to save what's left of the pizzaplex, or the thing quietly manipulating everyone else from the shadows. Here's how this works. 7 questions, each answer gives 1 point to a specific character. Keep track as you go. At the end, whoever has the most points, that's your result. Don't overthink it. Don't try to game the outcome. The most honest answers give you the most accurate results. And trust me, when I say the best ones are the uncomfortable ones. Comment your result below when you get it. I want to see who's watching. Question 1. You have been navigating the pizzaplex for hours. No map, no signal, just you, distant sound of something moving in the vents above you. Then a voice. It comes through a broken speaker in the wall. It knows your name. It tells you it can guide you to the exit. It sounds warm. It sounds relieved to hear you. Your next decision says a lot about whether you lead with your heart or your instinct. How do you respond? Option A. You follow the voice. You have been alone long enough. If something wanted to hurt you, it could have done by now. You choose to trust. +1 for Cassie. Option B. You stay still. Cast the voice to prove it's safe before you take a single step. Logic first, trust later. Option C. You ignore the voice entirely. You have already mapped this section in your head. You don't need a guide. You never did. Option D. You walk toward the speaker and rip it off the wall. If something's watching you, you want it to know you know. Passive games aren't your thing. If you picked option A without hesitation, the Mimic may already have its eye on you. It's very good at sounding like something that loves you. The corridor collapses behind you. There is no going back. Ahead, something large is blocking the only exit. Shuffling, jerking its head, rotating the wrong direction at the wrong speed. It hasn't seen you yet. Most people watching right now are about to tell me a lot about themselves. How you survive says more about your psychology than almost anything else. Question 2. What do you do? Option A. You stay completely still. You slow your breathing. You wait. Patience has kept you alive before. It will keep you alive now. Option B. You look for a way around. There's always another path if you look enough. If you look hard enough. You'd rather take the long way than risk a confrontation. Option C. You grab the nearest piece of debris. If it comes at you, you want to be ready. You're not running from anything. Option D. You watch it. The way it moves, the sound it makes, the pattern in its twitching. You're learning it before you do anything else. The most aggressive viewers are already leading Monty. You know who you are. Question 3. You find a staff break room, still quiet, a half-eaten birthday cake rotting on a table, party streamers on the floor, on the monitor ahead, a security camera is pointed directly at you. You sit for the first time in hours, nothing is chasing you, nothing is making noise, and in the silence, you think about who you were before you came down here. This one is the most personal question, answer honestly. Question 3, what does that reflection make you feel? Option A, grief. You think about the people you might be letting down, the ones waiting for you, the ones who need you to make it out. Option B, frustration. You came down here to do something and you're sitting in a room doing nothing. The stillness feels like a failure. Option C, hunger, not the emotional kind. You notice there's still food on that table. You focus on that. Option D, clarity. You're not scared of the silence. You use it. You start building a plan, step by step, no emotion attached. Roxy answers usually surprise people, because choosing frustration sounds aggressive. But Roxy isn't aggressive, she's just terrified of standing still long enough to see herself clearly. You find a locked supply room. Inside a medkit, emergency rations, and a working radio. The first real resources you have found. But there are 2 others in this corridor. Both are in bad shape. Both saw you find it. One is a child, young, scared, crying quietly. But something about their eyes don't match their voice. The other is a damaged animatronic, most of its face is gone. It just keeps repeating one phrase. I can carry more than you can. Question 4, what do you do? Option A, you stare with the child, children come first. Whatever your doubts, You're not going to walk away from a kid in the dark. Option B, you stare with the animatronic. At least you know what it is. Broken machines are easier to trust than broken people. Option C, you take it all. Sentiment gets people killed down here. You can protect anyone if you're dead. Option D, you give the child just enough to survive and keep the rest. You want to be fair, you just also want to be alive. Only one answer in this question actually tries to heal the room. You probably already know which one that was. Question 5. You come across an animatronic that's been destroyed, not malfunctioning, destroyed. Chassis caved in, systems flickering in and out, but it's still aware. It tracks you with one working eye. It tries to speak, but all that comes out is fragments, half a name, pieces of a song, something that sounds like it used to mean something. It's not a threat, it's barely anything at all. This question is quiet, but the ruin pays very close attention to how you answer it. Question 5, what do you do? Option A, you sit with it for a moment, you don't know why. It just feels wrong to walk past something that's still trying. Option B, you end it, cleanly, quickly, whatever it's experiencing it shouldn't have to experience anymore. Option C, you take whatever parts might still be useful and keep moving. It's already gone, what matters is you aren't. Option D, you try to repair it, even partially, even knowing it probably won't work, you can just leave it like this. This is where Cassie and Roxy answer split, because Cassie feels the loss and Roxy refuses to accept it. Neither of them can fully walk away from something broken. It's not always a weakness, but it's not always a strength either. You hear footsteps. They are not random. They are not panicked. They are measured. Whatever is making that sound isn't afraid of you. It isn't hunting you, at least not yet. It sounds like something that knows exactly where you're going and has decided that you believe you're free. Pay attention to your instincts here, because that's exactly what the ruin is doing. Option 6, how do you react? Option A, you freeze. You don't run, you don't hide. You make yourself as small as possible and listen. Option B, you move toward the sound. You need to see it. Not knowing is worse than any threat. Option C, you back away slowly. Controlled. You don't run because running makes noise. You just carefully disappear. Option D, you call out. You say something, anything. You would rather know immediately whether it's hostile than spend the next hour dreading the answer. Option C, if you picked option C and you knew immediately that it was right, I want you to keep that in mind when we get to the mimic reveal. Because that instinct is not survival, it's camouflage. Question 7. You see the exit, or right beside it. Someone else is there. Someone who has clearly been down here longer than you. Someone who looks like they have given up. They are not asking for help. They are not reaching out. They're just looking at you, like they want to see what you're going to do. The door is right there. You can make it in seconds. Alone, you're out. Free. Your final answer determines something the rune has been trying to confirm since question 1. Whether you're fully human, or something pretending to be. Question 7. What do you do? Option A, you go to them, you take their hand, you don't leave without them. That was never a real choice. Option B, you tell them to get up. You're not tracking them, but you're also not leaving them. They have to choose to walk, but you will walk with them. Option C, you hesitate. You want to help, but you need them to prove they want to make it first. You have been burned before. Help isn't unconditional. Option D, you observe them for a moment. Something about this feels wrong. You're not sure they are what they appear to be. You watch before you commit. Pizzaplex remembers every choice you made, every single one. 7 questions, 7 chances to reveal something true. Count your answers, tell your points. Whoever appears most, that's what the rune sees when it looks at you. If you're tied, don't flip a coin. Don't pick who you want to be. Think about question 7, your gut answer before you second guess it. Because the rune doesn't test your logic, it tests your instinct. Let's find out who you are. Result Cassie. You're a Cassie. You're the kind of person who shows up consistently without applause, without guarantee. You show up because the alternative, abandoning someone who needed you, it's something you couldn't live with. Cassie goes into the ruin not because she's fearless, she goes in because Freddy asked and she trusts. And in a world where everything has been broken and redesigned to deceive, that kind of loyalty isn't weakness, it's the rarest thing left. Just like Cassie's journey through the Pizzaplex, you tend to move forward on faith more than certainty. Your choices in this quiz showed someone who leads with emotional intelligence, who considers other people first, even when it costs you time, safety, or peace of mind. But here's your shadow side. That same loyalty can make you a target. The things in the room know that people like you will follow familiar voice. Will pause for the broken thing on the floor, will open the door for the figure who looks like they need you. Cassie doesn't just feel things deeply, she acts on them, and that's extraordinary. But it also means she can lead somewhere never intended to go. You don't need certainty to keep moving. That's the most honest thing about this that the quiz found. Deep down, that's exactly why Freddy chose her. Result, prototype Freddy. You are prototype Freddy. You are the most functionally dangerous person in any crisis, because you feel almost nothing that would slow you down. That's not an insult, it's architecture. Prototype Freddy exists in a state of absolute purpose. The emotion has been stripped out, and what remains is function, logic, sequence, objective. In a place like the Ruin, where panic kills people and sentiment leads them into traps, that's the most powerful survivor trait there is. Your answer showed someone who calculates, who waits before acting, who makes decisions based on outcome probability rather than moral survival in question 4, because you understand correctly that dead people help no one. But prototype Freddy's tragedy isn't the machine, it's what the machine replaced. There was warmth in there once, connection, something scared, and it was overwritten because the system decided those things were vulnerabilities. Your greatest flaw isn't cruelty, it's distance. People around you might not know how much you are doing for them because you never show it. And eventually, even the people you're protecting start to wonder if you see them as people at all. You survive by becoming emotionally untouchable. Just make sure you still remember what you were protecting in the first place. Result: Ruined Roxy. You're Ruined Roxy. You want to be needed, not because you're selfish, but because being needed is the only way you know how to prove you still matter. Roxy in Security Breach was built around confidence, speed, beauty. She wasn't designed to fail, and then she did. Over and over. Replaced, dismantled, discarded. The Ruin didn't create her insecurity, it just exposed. Your answers revealed someone deeply protective, someone who refuses to accept that broken things are beyond saving. Especially when that broken thing might be yourself. When you hesitated in question 7, it wasn't coldness, it was self-protection. You have extended yourself before and watched it to not be enough. You're not quite ready to do it again, but that hesitation, that protectiveness, it comes from the same place as your best quality. You feel everything fully. You care about the things others walk past. You notice the damage that no one else stops to see. Roxy's strategy is that she measures her worth through other people's need for her. And the Ruin gave her exactly what she feared most. A world where she couldn't outrun her own reflection. You don't need to outrun it either. You need to be the thing that survived it. And you already are. Result: Ruined Chica. You are Ruined Chica. You fill the silence with things. With noise, with flood, with distraction, with the next task, the next craving, the next hit of something that used to feel good. Not just feels like going through the motions. Ruined Chica doesn't know she is lost. That's the cruelest part. She's still performing the same routine, celebrating, consuming, presenting, but the thing that made those routines meaningful is gone. And she hasn't stopped moving long enough to notice. Your answer showed someone driven by impulse over reflection. When you found the food in the break room, you focused on that instead of the harder emotional questions. That's not weakness, it's coping. You handle overwhelming situations by staying in motion, by addressing the immediate, by not looking at the thing you're actually afraid of. But hollow motion is exhausting. At some point the consumption stops filling the gap, the celebration starts to feel performative, and you're left with the question Chica never gets to answer. What did you actually want before the routine replaced it? The question is worth sitting with, even here, especially here. Result: Ruined Monty. You destroy things before they can hurt you first. That's not accusation, it's a survival mechanism. And in the right circumstances, it's the most effective one available. Monty isn't violent because he's evil, he's violent because rage is the one emotion that has never let him down. When everything else fails, trust, loyalty, identity, rage still works. Your answers were the most kinetic of the group. You reached for something to defend yourself before you assessed the threat. You moved toward the footsteps instead of moving away from them. You acted. Underneath Monty's destruction, there is someone who needed to be seen, needed to matter. He was replaced, literally dismantled for parts. And what remained was just anger that was left when everything else was stripped away. Your biggest vulnerability isn't your temper, it's the fact that your temper protects something much softer underneath, and you have spent a very long time making sure no one gets close enough to find it. That's not sustainable, even the strongest structures collapse eventually. You have broken through every wall the Ruin put in front of you, the last one is the one you built yourself. And Eclipse, your Eclipse. You believe even damaged systems can coexist peacefully. Eclipse is the resolution of a conflict. Sun and Moon, two opposing forces, two personalities that were never meant to occupy the same space, forced into harmony by crisis that left them no other choice. And instead of destroying each other, they balanced. Your answers were the most measured in the quiz. You chose mercy over utility in question 5, you chose practical compassion in question 4, not blind sentiment, but structured care. You didn't move toward danger or away from it, you assessed. You are someone who holds two things at once, the part that wants to protect and the part that understands sometimes protection means letting something end. The part that loves deeply and the part that gives enough distance to think clearly. Most people can only access one of those at a time. You carry both. The risk for Eclipse and for you is stasis. When you spend all your energy mediating, you sometimes forget to choose, to act, to stop balancing, and just be. Harmony isn't the same as paralysis, and healing isn't something you can do if you're always standing in the middle. You are the most foul of all the ruins fragments. That's not nothing. In a place like this, that might be everything. The Mimic. You're the Mimic. You don't trust people, you study them. You learn what they want to hear, the right tone of voice, the right moment to be warm, the right words that make someone feel seen. And then you use that knowledge, not because you feel those things, but because it works. You have been in the room this entire quiz, watching, taking notes, testing which answers will reveal most about other viewers while simultaneously protecting your own truth. The Mimic in Ruin is in some ways the most tragic character of all. It was designed to learn, to replicate, to become whatever was needed, and it did perfectly. So perfectly that somewhere along the way, the original programming, whatever it actually was, got buried under 1,000 borrowed personality. The Mimic doesn't know who it is anymore. It only knows who you need it to be. And that's your darkness too, isn't it? You have been so many things for so many people, so careful, so observant, so adaptive, that sometimes you sit alone in silence, realize you're not sure which version of yourself is the real one. Your instinct in question 6 was camouflage, your hesitation in question 7 was analysis, not because you don't feel things, but because you have learned not to show them until you're certain it's safe. That intelligence is extraordinary. It's also isolated in a way that most people will never fully understand. The scariest part, the Mimic doesn't know who it really is anymore. It only becomes what others need to hear. If that hit you somewhere real, you already knew. The Ruin didn't just reveal a character, it revealed how you survive broken worlds. Whether you lead with your heart, whether you armor yourself in logic, whether you reach for the broken thing on the floor or walk past it, whether you trust the voice in the wall or become it. Comment your result below. I want to know who you got, and tell me if which question exposed you the hardest, because there's always one. There's always one answer you didn't expect to pick and then did anyway. And if you got the Mimic, honestly, that's terrifying. And I mean that as a compliment. Subscribe for more FNAF lore deep dives, psychological character analysis, and quizzes that go further than just which character are you. Because the Ruin isn't the only place in this franchise that tests who you really are. We are just getting started.